All right, welcome back to Keene State Valorant. I'm Anthony.
I'm Gage.
Today we have RIT Yellow, that is 6-1 versus Keene State 6-1. We're 6-0. Sorry. This is gonna be a great match. Definitely a great team. 6-1. That's a great score. So hopefully, we have a little bit of a tougher time playing, and we can really go into the playoffs playing our best game because we had such a hard competition before.
And again, this is our last game of the regular season, and we have playoffs coming up. We are 6-0, and the team is 6-1. So if we do lose this game, we will be at the second seed, and if we win, we'll officially lock the first overall seed going into playoffs. So this game will it should be our hardest competition that we have faced. Don't know yet, but we'll see what happens when we get to them.
All right, and a great game last week. Definitely had a little bit of struggle. But every time we have a little bit of struggle, we've always proven to come back, and we take a little bit of a timeout. We always come out of the timeout and play really effectively. Being able to move around from each site, be able to defend it or even attack it. Attacking, we've been really good. Defending, we've been really good. So I think RIT is really gonna have to find a game plan to be able to take us down, because we are a very tough team to beat right now. All of our players have great aim, hitting headshots, and
exactly.
I think it's gonna be really tough for RIT today. Yeah,
and again, last game coming off a strong win, Calyptic coming off with game 1 and game 2 MVP. With Phoenix that time, really using those firewalls, heal himself in the times of need. So we're gonna see how the team comes out today. But starting lineup, we got Calyptic, we have Chum, H-Mish, Melatonin, and Yuri. So the usual 5, nothing changing there. But let's kind of just wait now, and we'll get right in.
Yeah, and I think the team, I think a little switch up for him playing Phoenix there. I think that was a great, he was using his ult really effectively, being able to go there, be able to tell his team where it is. And then we also have Chum, who plays Yuri, which can also do the same thing. His ult is going to be able, he's going to be able to go invisible, be able to go up on the site, be able to tell everybody where everybody is. And I think that's such an advantage to have 2 players who would do the exact same thing there. So if one, like Calyptic, game 2, what was it, 30 kills, something like that?
Yeah, I believe it was 30 on the dot.
That's just crazy, and so that means he's getting his ult more and more and more, and he's able to use it more and more and more, and he uses all his util very effectively. Using the firewall and everything really good. It's just love to see his gameplay, but I feel like everybody else on the team uses theirs really effectively too. Everybody plays great on this team, and I'm hoping we can keep that going in today's game. The map, I would say today, Haven, we've very well known.
We've definitely seen this one before.
We could play this a lot. We have the long hallway for B site. That's gonna be really. We've always been good at defending and attacking. We know what we can do there, because both Calyptic and Chum can use their ult, go up there and be able to test it out. Same thing with A down that A site.
Kind of get around and get in, and then view, clear your corners, get into the site. Tell your team which way to go, and again, defending wise, going the same way. You got those long views. Be able to have one guy sit on a corner, sit on a long hallway. Let your teammate know, hey, they're pushing C, and then the other team will push over, and then. Another thing that we've seen great from this team is just the communication. And this team, 6-0, that's something that you need going into this season, and that you've seen Keene State time and time again having great communication, knowing where they're coming from, what to do, how to flip the chains when we're on attacking. Make them have to push us.
And I think that's another great thing. When we have had interviews and had to talk to the players, the thing that they've said when they had to go to the timeout and really talk to each other was because they weren't communicating, and that's what they had to change. And once they changed and started communicating more, that's when the game really started. That's when they started, just getting into the game. So I'm really excited to see, this would be a big win going into playoffs. If we can take this, we're really gonna look like unstoppable going in, and I think we could just win through. Going into the playoffs undefeated is just such a good feeling. You have so much momentum and stuff, and
especially knocking out the 2 seed again. You're gonna go in there. You're gonna try and sweep everybody. You're gonna have the confidence. We're gonna have the record. We're gonna have everything going for us.
Even I would be, either way what happens today. If we go crazy, we go 13-1 in the first game, like 13-3 in the next game, we sweep them. That's almost every team that we played this season swept. But say that, you know, sadly it does come down and it goes like 13-10 or something like that. Now going to playoffs, we know, hey, you know, we're not this team that's gonna be able to sweep everybody.
We're not
but
unbeatable.
we can win.
We're not unbeatable.
Yeah, we're not unbeatable, but we still can win. Like there,
exactly.
You know, even if a team goes up has 10 wins on us, we're still gonna be able to come through that. So either way, what happens today is I think we're going to be able to come out with the win. We are a good team, tough to beat. Every player, you know, Yuri, Melatonin, Hmish, Chum, and Calyptic, all great players. We've seen great performances from every single one of them. Almost every single one of them have been the MVP in this chair. So I think, you know, all around, just a great team.
Yeah, and again, looking back at last game where we had game 1 and game 2, usually we see Melatonin. Oh, never mind. We are going to get right into this, folks. And map is Haven.
All right, so we're having Haven. If you haven't seen Haven, we have on the right side we have Plant A, where we have a long hallway where you come down the hallway and you can go into site. You also have a little down area where you can come in and around
a lot
that
of
way
access
too.
points on A.
Yeah,
and then
but a lot of defensive points too.
Yes, yes. You have the upstairs window. You got all the nooks around the boxes.
Yeah, and then you have a garage down there that you can hide behind.
Yeah.
Or and there's a lot of plays. And then we also have B that's going to be in the middle, which is another great spot. Very tough, I would say, to get into, but because there's so many places where they can come from and be able to take back site.
Going in, there's only really 2 main entry points unless you take a long way around.
Yeah.
But knowing that center window, pushing into that doorway is a hard spot to win. It's really hard to win, but when you do it, it's very good for your team. And pushing over to C, you see, you know, you got that long hallway going down the center. Good way to defend it is, you know, just surround them, you know, make them have to push it first, because then you know that it's going to be easy to capitalize on them. So looking at Keene's side, looking like we're going to go with a 3 duelist here. Nothing new here. Going to see Kaloptic back on Phoenix. You know, we'll see if he can use those firewalls again and continue to, you know, strike up and get that MVP as we saw last round. So we're going to see how they're doing. The other team looking at a 1 duelist set. Usually this is what teams are supposed to do, but honestly, Keene's been running with a 3, so we'll see what happens here. And here we go. We'll start it up.
All right. Over here, we have Calyptic playing Phoenix. We have Chum playing Yuru. We have Hmish playing Omen. We have Melatonin playing Raze, Yuri playing Sova.
Yeah.
Basically, if we look at the other side, we basically have the same thing, except they're gonna be playing Killjoy instead of Yuru, and they don't have Phoenix, but they do have Sage. Sage has an ability. Her ult is gonna be able to heal somebody, which is gonna be very popular for this team. You know, like that's something really good to have. That means, you know, even if your team goes down, you're able to come back and
you know, that could be great in, you know, a 1v3 scenario. Bring a teammate back and then it becomes a 2v3. It's gonna be great for the other team here. Hi, Calyptic. All right, we're gonna be on attacking side first. Gonna be seeing the team pushing more towards center. They could go B or C here.
Yep. So either they can take a right here and they're gonna come and they're gonna go up toward B, or they're gonna go right through this way and they're gonna sneak their way up to C. It would be great, you know, if they put someone over here, had someone shoot down that C long hallway.
Kind of distraction.
Yeah.
We're gonna see, you know, they have somebody in that little doorway right there. We're gonna be watching Melatonin or Yuri here.
We're gonna watch Yuri come around this corner.
We're gonna see a heavy push by Keene here, pushing right up into C.
Up. Sage uses their wall to block it off.
Chum pushing
around. Great wall by Phoenix there. Uses his flash, come around the corner.
Chum goes down. Calyptic gets his back. Melatonin gets one with his ability.
Great job.
We're gonna see Keene stay with a heavy push here.
Yuri back,
having all angles,
that back site.
All angles covered. I'm gonna be watching Hmish on this one. Kind of switching between. One of their guys pushes in. Melatonin gets him.
Oh wow, this is not looking good.
Hmish and Yuri go down. Melatonin with a 3 streak right now. Gonna see what he does here. He kind of pushes back, pulls off. This is a 1v1 here. Gonna try and play that time.
But we could wait because they have to defuse here, so he can play it. And
Melatonin with a 4 bomb off the start.
Great job by Melatonin.
Great play by Melatonin, you know, knowing that it's a 1v1 and he can play the bomb, or the spike, sorry. Pushes back, rotates over, catches him off guard, and kind of lacking in that point. Great play by Melatonin, great game awareness.
Looking at leaderboards here, we have Melatonin 4-0, great start by him. Calyptic 1-1, Yuri 0-1, Chum 0-1, and Hmish 0-1, which is perfectly okay. everybody was able to do it. Sage, you know, used her wall, block it off. You know, Chum had to go in, and he also had other stuff that he had to get rid of. But now that looks like we're going to be pushing A site here, so see what happens.
See a
looks
heavy
like they have
push on
Sova.
A.
They have Sova up on Haven, so if he does hear that they're coming down this hallway, he's going to shoot his arrow to be able to mark where they are. You're sending his TP up into sight.
Melatonin pushing heavy at the start.
Yeah.
Uses blast to get over. Catches a guy lacking. Melatonin gets another. Melatonin gets 2.
Throw his nade in there.
HB's planning. Guy walks in. Guy goes down.
Calyptic gets one.
Gonna be holding this door angle here. Kind of all 3 kind of holding this angle, knowing that he's there. Gonna be watching. Not having all angles covered here by Keene. A great push going now 5v1. And Melatonin gets him with another 3. Melatonin having a great game so far. Flawless from Keene.
All right, great 2 rounds. Let's look at the leaderboard again. We have Melatonin 7-0. That's a really good start for Melatonin there.
Great start for Melatonin there.
Our 2 games ago, he was MVP twice. Yeah. So, you know, great job there. Calyptic, our last game's double MVP. 3-1, Yuri 0-1, Chum 0-1, HB 0-1. So it looks like the 2 freshmen at the top of the leaderboard really, you know, stepping up for us here. Let's see what we could do.
Gonna be another push towards A.
Watching Melatonin here. They have a guy right there. Looks like
Nade's coming
Raze
down.
is right there. H-Mish putting up her smokes. Looks like that we
gonna see Melatonin nade backside. You're gonna be looking at the other team's perspective here.
Oh, it gets taken
Goes
out.
down. Melatonin with another 2 this round.
There's gonna be someone
Yuri
on Haven.
goes down.
What is he doing? Looking for guns. Yeah, probably should have been helping the team, not looking for a gun there. But it gets taken out.
Melatonin goes down. We're watching Chum here. Kind of holding this garage angle. Knowing the guy's up there. Gets the recon.
Calyptic.
Guy's up there. Calyptic.
Oh, it's run.
Chum gets him. Gonna be 1 left. Let's see if Calyptic gets him. And Chum gets him. Another dominant round from Keene there, going 3-0 now.
All right.
Looking at the leaderboard, Melatonin 9-1, Calyptic with 4-1, Chum with 2-1, and then I believe Yuri and H-Mish sitting at the bottom with 0-2.
Yeah.
You know, definitely not their best performances, but again, now we have the freshmen stepping up, Calyptic and Melatonin stepping up this game. We'll see how the rest of it goes.
Calyptic has his ult, so let's see if he uses it here. You can always save it, use it another round. He's been playing the blinds great.
All right. Other team pushing up a little bit heavier this time.
I think they think it's A. He's coming up. Uses his ult, coming onto site here. He's going to go through that sage wall. Let's see. Gets one crazy headshot. Great job there. That was crazy shot.
H-Mish with a blind shot on that one.
Wow.
Gonna watch Calyptic throw a fireball up there. That is nobody.
Puts up his
Uses
firewall.
Great use of the firewall there. You know, closing off those angles. You know, sawing the defenders back.
Melatonin watching the backside.
Gonna see one of their guys kind of creep up behind Calyptic here.
Anybody can see it.
Gonna see what happens. Calyptic finds him. Oh, it goes down.
Crazy headshot.
Their Omen with a great double kill.
Oh my gosh, their Omen going crazy right now.
With 3 kills on this round. Great
see what he does. He's
Omen.
right here. We're gonna watch him. See what he can do here. It's our team. He's running out of time though. I don't think he has enough time to really do anything.
Picks up a Vandal.
Yeah, he has a weird kind of. Oh my gosh! But apparently it works.
Great kill.
Melatonin
gets him. That is 4-0 for Keene.
Coming up clutch.
Great work right there by Melatonin. You know, now sitting at the top of the leaderboard with 11-1. Great play by Melatonin. You know, really, you know that Omen almost getting us all. Coming up short though in the end. Yeah. Great play by their Omen with the Sheriff there.
Melatonin has his ult too. See if he'll use it this round. Calyptic used his last round and made great use of it. Got a kill off of it. So
got a good headshot. We're gonna see the team kind of go more C and B on this one. Kind of pushing almost center.
So I think we're gonna have Yuru. They're gonna push up and come up through that hallway to be able to come up on a site, and these guys are gonna come up the C little peak right here.
Nading back site right there from Melatonin.
They push off site, so now they have a free site
Omen
to kind of be able to
putting up a little smoke, a little defense for them.
Calyptic jumping on the site gets blinded.
Yuri planting.
See what Calyptic's got. They have HME shooting.
3 of their
Puts
guys
his
back
firewall
wall.
up. Throws a blind.
Calyptic using the firewall to heal right now. From this angle, Yuri gets 1. Yuri gets 2, then goes down.
Oh,
they get
wow.
Calyptic.
Great job by RIT here. Had a great response after them taking over, you know, the C site, and was just able to pick off one by one. They had someone on our flank, didn't see him in time, took out 2 of our players. You know,
And Keene getting a run for their money there. You know, that's just a good play by RIT. You know, us getting in, trying to force again that dominant play that we've seen time and time again, and then their team really stepping up and kind of, you know, knowing what we're going to do and kind of holding us back. So we'll see how, if Keene switches up their game plan. Seems like they do. Seems like we got a little bit more spread out. Some going towards window, some going towards hallway. Going to be looking like at a B push here. Going to see what happens here. Again, leaderboard looking at 11-2 for Melatonin, 5-3 Calyptic, H-Mish with 3, Chum and Yuri both with sitting at the bottom with 2. Going to see what Melatonin here.
Looks like they haven't really made up their mind yet.
Omen with a great smoke there.
Don't know where we're picking right now. Looks like we're picking. Goes on the site.
Melatonin uses his ult. Gets
Great
1.
Job. Oh,
goes down.
Gets taken out.
Great use of the ult there. You know, getting 1.
Gets a kill.
H-Mish gets a great kill there.
Let's see, we're gonna go on the site. Watch. Uses their camera.
Yuri is using his recon.
The Melatonin, or Calyptic on site. H-Mish with a kill and Chum with a kill. He's in a fake spot. He's in a fake plant. He's gonna use it actually planting here.
Calyptic planting on this one.
H-Mish covering.
Gonna be a 3v1.
Throws his fire.
Let's see what Purple Violet can do here. It's gonna be a tough scenario. You know, all 3 of them really kind of holding that door angle on him.
Yeah. Sova, you know, it's gonna try to do something on the other team here, but I think it's gonna be really tough.
Again, holding
up on the box.
Both corners on this one. It's a tough scenario we're gonna see here.
He's gonna mark where they are, so now he knows where they are. That was a great play by Sova there.
It goes down. Calyptic gets him.
Great headshot by there. He put in. He knew where they were, and he still didn't even peek that way. He didn't look left. He didn't look right. This wasn't a really great play, but maybe too many people on both sides. But he only saw one. But we never know.
Yeah, and again, looking at that last play right there, gonna be Calyptic having a great play there. You know, us really noticing that we have the time, you know, slowing down our game and kind of holding those corners on him, knowing that that's the way he has to push due to the time restraint.
Yep. All right, we're gonna go over to H-Mish over here and watch Chum. They're gonna be pushing up with Spike, so let's see what they do here. He's taking ult so he can get. He has his ult now. This is great. Uses the orb to get his ult. They know.
See, looking at the team kind of pushing towards B here.
Right, we're gonna switch to Calyptic. Or
Calyptic goes down. Yuri up. Gonna be seeing Chum here, kind of rotate over.
He's.
We're watching Melatonin here on the doorway. Again, Sage with her wall.
Chum hits a couple.
Chum damages the guy. He heals up. And he uses util here and try and push over.
Right, using his ult.
Gets in.
He's gonna look
using
all
his
the corners,
drift here. He sees 1, sees 2.
See where he goes, because his TP's already on site.
TP right behind him.
Wow, great play by him. That's a great use of his ult. And he also had his
Yuri gets behind
the
other guy. You know, great play by Chum there. You know, using his util. You know, able to get in, get out.
Sova, the only one left too. So let's see what Sova can do here. Sova was up top on Heaven, now pushing back down.
And Melatonin up there, probably gonna hold that angle in case he decides to come back. Chum holding this great angle on this doorway. Gonna try and force again the same guy. You know, he's gonna have to push in, but we have the doorway and we have the angles covered. We'll see how he plays this one out. Gonna see Yuri kind of holding a far angle. Pushes in. Gets Chum. And Melatonin gets him from the top. Great play there by Keene. You know, again, Heaven. And then great play there by Keene, you know, using our time with us and, you know, playing more back and letting him push in, knowing we have the numbers.
Yeah, great job by Keene.
6-1. All right. Looking at Keene here, seems like we're going to be pushing more towards C site. Going to be more towards the long hallway. Going to kind of send Melatonin in towards the center. Going to clear out. Melatonin not. He does not know those two are on his right. Might get caught off guard. Melatonin goes down.
Taken out. Wow. H-Mish and...
Great work by the enemy team there, you know, sneaking towards us and kind of catching them off guard.
Calyptic,
great headshot there. Oh. H-Mish goes down.
H-Mish just picked up.
Good firewall there by Calyptic, you know, healing up, you know, one of his better abilities with using Phoenix here.
Great job by Yuri, sorry. Yuri sends his fake up there. Great use of the fake to be able to bait.
Great turn there by Calyptic.
Great Calyptic.
Gets him.
Great aim right now. Looking good.
Gonna see the team rotate over to A. Again, this is 3v1 versus the same guy here.
Yeah, Sova again. Sova, I mean, must be playing great or something. Always alive.
Or very defensive, you know. It could be either or.
They are on defense, so, you know, they probably should be playing a little defensive.
Yeah. All right, gonna see what happens here. Again, Keene, you know, knowing we have the time, gonna sit back on these corners.
Calyptic gets
kind of wait for
his flash. Maybe that was like a little bit of a bait flash there, you know, trying to think that he was gonna swing it, but he's not.
They know he's there. He's gonna push it again.
Yeah, he's being really loud.
Third round in a row. He is in the scenario. Calyptic gets him. That's a 3-bomb there for Calyptic.
All right, let's look at the leaderboard. All right, Melatonin 14-4, great stats there. Calyptic 9-4, Yuri 6-4, H-Mish 6-6, and Chum 3-5.
Yeah, and
definitely
again,
don't normally see this from Chum, but I mean, he's still doing his part, and, you know, getting in there, still, you know, winning. So doesn't matter.
And again, I don't know how you're feeling about this, but I think this is the Melatonin that we saw those 2 games ago. You know, he was game 1 and game 2 MVP, looking great so far in this game 1. Gonna see what happens here. You know, we're up 7-1, gonna be pushing more towards A site here.
Yeah. Calyptic has his ult again, see if he uses it.
Gonna see an ult down center, gets H-Mish.
Going down, Calyptic gets taken out.
Gonna be Calyptic using his ult, pushing down center.
He knows where they are because that's where Melatonin died, so he knows that there's someone down there. Great use of it. Didn't really get to use his ult, but did get to see somebody, so...
He knows where some of them are, he's gonna push back. You know, they are using the Killjoy here. Gonna be Chum going down.
Yeah,
gonna be a 2v4 here. Seems like we're gonna rotate more across towards C or B. Gonna be C here.
Yeah, they do
Other
go
team's
C.
still at A.
Yeah.
You know, sending 2 over just in case.
It looks like, you know, they're gonna have an open site right here. They're going into a wide open site. This is a great move. Throws up his wall to be able to block just in case.
They're gonna plant.
Yep, Yuri planting. Now the other team's gonna know that they're on C. They know where they are, so they're all gonna work their way. It looks like they're all working their way to C, but they're gonna take their time. You know, we're gonna push back and just watch. You know, like they have to be able to get there.
Try and play this long hallway on them. You know, if they're gonna push that bomb site, again, they're using their abilities up in the top corner. We're gonna see how this works.
They blind, so this now.
Fireball
this is
going in from Calyptic, kind of holding that site.
Sage uses her wall.
Kind of shooting fire, shooting
that was
blindly.
a great job by RIT. Just a great job. Yep, and they're just wow. Didn't gotta let him
Calyptic
defuse.
just lets him. You know, it's a tough position there. You know, being in a 1v4. You know, probably a smart move from Calyptic there. You know, staying kind of back. You know, letting them defuse. You know, it's a hard situation. If he ran in, there's probably a 3% chance that he really gets that. That's a tough scenario to win, especially with the one person on the fuse knowing that they're there. Looking at Melatonin at the top with 14-5, Calyptic at 9-4, Yuri and H-Mish both with 6, and Chum at the bottom with 4. All right, gonna be watching Calyptic here. Very spread formation here by Keene.
They're even leaving the spike away, so I'm wondering if they're really just gonna wait to see where they want to push. Here,
kind of see where the other team
got messed up last round, but I don't know. This is a weird play.
Definitely a new kind of formation and strategy from Keene here. I'm gonna see Melatonin gets one from the center.
I am really confused here. Sova is here, so
seems like Omen
maybe going back to grab it.
No, he's not gonna go. He's gonna go over with Melatonin. Calyptic pushing up. He sees him.
Now knows where he is.
He sees him. He gets one. Oh, wow. Great work getting 2. Chum and Calyptic go down.
Well, we have Melatonin.
Gets
Great
one.
job by Melatonin there.
That's his second kill this round.
Had a good tap fire there, so that, you know, I think
Gonna
that was
see
the advantage.
Omen H-Mish over there with the spike, pushing right into sight. Our team's gonna kind of push back and move over.
H-Mish is planting.
H-Mish spike planted.
We have a guy coming up from behind. Let's see if one of us will watch for that. Let's switch over.
I see H-Mish here.
Play here by Keene.
Yeah, it seems like their other player kind of went back and regrouped. Melatonin goes down. Yuri and H-Mish kind of holding these angles. Yuri gets
Yuri
both.
with both. Wow.
Great behind the kill. Great double kill behind the back from Yuri right there.
Great job.
Gonna see what happens here. H-Mish with the spike. Keene goes up 8-2. Again, this is the second seed. This would lock us first in the playoffs. So this is a great run from us.
All right, let's see what they do here.
Again, Keene with another spread kind of attack
They do
here.
have a spike here. Omen's got the spike and over on C. So we're gonna head over there, see what they're doing.
All right. Gonna see him kind of playing this long hallway. Yuri gonna use his recon dart.
Melatonin gets taken out sadly on mid.
Gonna see what happens. You know, Calyptic kind of pushing up here.
It looks like they might run into somebody's.
Yuri using his recon drone. H-Mish pushing behind it. You know, he's clearing his corners for him.
This isn't good, I think. Yeah. Oh,
Yuri
great
gets
play
it.
by Yuri, though.
Oh, H-Mish goes
job.
down. Gonna be a solo guy in the middle. We do have 2 on site, but Yuri back there does have the spike, so he's gonna have to push over with us.
Time.
Calyptic gets one with the fireball. Great play by there.
Great job by Calyptic there.
Great placement.
Great
Calyptic
job
gets
by
one.
Calyptic there. Someone on Haven.
Yuri goes down.
Using his blind, but no one's there, so bad use of there, but alright, still tried. He still has one more that he can use. Oh, accidentally blinds himself
And he
gets
goes
taken
down.
out.
Gonna be Chum here playing this garage. Gonna see how he does here. 1v2, sends out his abilities. One drops, he gets him. TP's over. Great play by Chum there, coming up a little short.
Almost had it, dang.
Pineapple coming up with the 3 kill on that run. Great work from Keene there. You know, having to step back and then sadly not coming up a little short. But again, this is the last round before the swaps. We'll see how Keene does on their last attacking round. Alright, gonna be watching Calyptic here. Seems like we're gonna go back to our original strategy and push more towards
heard is
A.
Omen might use her ult here. See if she can get on site. Looks like
Uses
she's on site now, so now she's gonna be able to mark people. Oh, on Haven. She's a great play, but she doesn't. She goes backside.
Chum gets the guy on center. They are all on site right now.
Calyptic over here.
Calyptic holding this back point, knowing that this guy's coming.
There, so.
We're gonna see if he gets him. Sees him, gets him. Great kill from Calyptic there.
Calyptic.
Gonna jump back over to Chum. And holding this center angle. H-Mish on the Haven.
Tonin right here with a shotgun. Gets one. Gets 2.
Double kill from Melatonin. Great work with the judge there.
Wow.
And again, picks up a Phantom. And again, now we are on defense. A great attacking push. And great way to end the attacking phase by Keene.
Great job there. All right, looks like they're going for a little bit of a split type of plan. Oh, wait, never mind. They're all going A? I don't know. Looks like B. No one's watching B for us.
Yeah, nobody's on B. We got 2 kind of over towards C, 1 on A. Or 3 on A. Sorry about that.
A little weird. Let's go look at what they're doing over here. Like they have Sage, you know, going in. Raise. Kind of a weird plan here. I'm wondering what they're gonna do.
Again, their team kind of leaving a spike back.
I'm also wondering what Keene's doing here. We have 3 guys who looks like we're just gonna peek and go straight down A. Yeah, like hard peek. You don't really see that much. They're waiting.
The recon
We've
dart.
seen a lot of schools try to do this wait thing on us, and it hasn't really worked. It works once or twice, but maybe that's what they saw. Maybe they watched our film, understood that on the wait, that's when most teams had most of their wins, when they waited and we just weren't where we were supposed to be. But I'm wondering what's happening
Melatonin
here.
gonna see like he's gonna go on a flank.
I'm gonna go over to Chum here. Looks like they're gonna be pushing.
Seems like their team's gonna
Chum.
push more towards C, going down this big hallway.
Yep, Chum right there in front of Chum. See if he can do anything.
Chum with a great angle here. Just gonna take his time. They're planting in C. Our team more spread out than together.
Yeah.
Gonna kind of see
everybody's on site.
Chum.
Oh my gosh, there's someone right there behind that box to his left. He doesn't see it, but he still
great kill from
turns
Chum
and gets him. Great job there. Wow.
Gonna see what Chum can do here with the ghost.
All right, looks like he's gonna flash and go into site here. Flashes, going onto site.
Pushes up hallway, clears the corners.
Got great job. There's two people down the hallway.
Melatonin gets one. H-Meech goes down.
Goes down.
He's gonna start
Chum
defusing. Melatonin gets another.
Sova watching. Melatonin gets one.
Melatonin gets another.
Great job.
3 kills there from Melatonin. Good round there from Keene.
Yep. All right, let's look at the leaderboard here.
Chum goes down right at the end. Melatonin 21 and 8 sitting at the top. Cliptic and Yuri kind of sit in that middle range with 12 and 9. And Chum and H-Me sitting at the bottom with 8s. Again, great round here from Keene. You know, very dominant in these last couple rounds. Let's see what can happen here.
Looks like I think we're switching up a little bit, moving people around, but it looks like they're still looks like they're gonna do this weight thing, and I just don't think it's gonna work. They didn't work last time. I just don't see it working this time.
And again, leaving B side open a little bit.
Yeah, I think we know we can rotate there if we need to, and we have definitely the advantage with multiple ways that we can get in compared their one way. But they also don't have a spike there. They have people going on to B, but don't have a spike. Let's see, yeah, clip taking crazy close.
Kind of holding the spike in their spawn almost.
Yeah,
trying
really
to push
confused by
up, you know,
this.
clear the corners.
Really confusing. But
Gonna
we
have Calyptic and Yuri kind of rotate over to B right now.
Pushing. Yep, they're gonna push in here. Happens.
Gonna be Yuri, you know, clearing site.
But don't know. They have 2 people right there. Oh, they're leading.
Oh, no, great play there by the other
is
team. You know, playing that
really
patience.
Weird. They know they have. I mean, they have a whole. You know, like they have a good bit before they really have to. But this is really awkward. I haven't seen a team make this type of play. Finally, it looks like the Omen's going on to be there. Calyptic moving.
Calyptic gets one. Using that Guardian. Melatonin gets the one with firewall
down,
there.
attacker spawn.
Gonna heal up with Calyptic here.
Great play here.
Yuri gets one. Gonna be holding them kind of back in their own spawn. 20 seconds left. They're gonna have to make a push onto them.
They have 2 guys left. I think they're just gonna wait, let the time go.
Yeah.
They know they don't have a chance here.
10 seconds left.
Oh, never mind. Oh,
Yuri
yeah,
gets him.
Yuri is just really good at this game. And
Melatonin goes down. Calyptic goes down and Chum gets him. And kind of what can you do in that scenario? You know, 1v5, sitting at the end of the game, you know, spike in your own spawn.
I don't know, but that other Sova with a great Sheriff play. I love that gun. Personally, you know, that Sheriff is just such a good gun. I don't know why, but I'm pretty good with it. And a lot of other people are pretty good with it. I don't know.
You know, it's a great gun. You know, it's one tap to the head. You know, just a great game. Alright, we're gonna see another.
Looks like they might actually take a first time switching up their game plan, hard push A, but oh my gosh, Melatonin just pushing really fast, and they know he's there.
Yuri getting hit through the smoke
here. But Yuri
gonna kind of push up. You know, great play there.
They're retreating.
Yeah. Gonna kind of see the other team. You know, had a dominant strike back.
All right, let's switch over.
Gonna be pushing back over towards C. Gonna be H-Meech over on the center. Chum TP's over.
Great TP by Chum there.
Oh, all 4 over here. H-Meech knows that. Gonna be telling
Chum.
Other team.
Throws a blind. Goes to the other side.
Runs over. A little misdirection. Gets the recon dart. Omen swings. Omen goes down.
Oh.
And got just 2 guys push. That's a strong point.
Oh,
H-Meech and Chum go down on C-site. Gonna be a little bit from their back here. Gonna be Melatonin and Calyptic. Calyptic gets one right off the bat.
Calyptic pushing on his site. throws his blinder on the corner, gets Sage, and kill.
Great,
and gets Sage. Wow,
great flash
job
and kill there from Calyptic.
Great use of his util, you know, just using all that utils, and still has his ult, but didn't use it, didn't need to. I mean, a lot of people probably would have used it there to be able to go on a site and try to get that kill, but he said, you know, I can do this without it. I'm going to save it for this last round that we have here. If they win here, it's match point, so this will be done, and we'll be moving on to game 2, and if we win that one, it's over.
It's over. And then we will officially locked in. You know, so far from this game, I believe Keene can honestly take it away here. You know, looking at 12-3, it's tough for teams, you know, looking at this deficit, you know, going to push back and come back. Going to be watching Calyptic here as he kind of holds this center B hallway. You know, our team, you know, not going to make that aggressive push on A and kind of, you know, more spread out in the back.
Might switch over to, but I'm still just so confused where they're going to push here. Don't know really where they're going.
Going to be Calyptic using his ult. And kind of push over. Seems like the other team's staying a little bit more back here.
Oh, I just wasn't able to get it.
He did have his ult though, so he is back.
I'm looking at something here. I'm thinking they're using a little bait here. Melatonin might see kills the guy with a spike. Great job.
Melatonin does have spike. It's gonna be great
turns
from
the
there.
Corner. Oh, and he gets
see Melatonin
killed.
there. He should have just stayed back and, you know, played time there as he had the spike.
Had the spike.
Gonna see what happens here.
Because then they would have had to went and got the spike, but unless he got a little greedy, tried to go get it.
Maybe a 4v4 here, you know. Either way, you know, it's a good trade-off.
Throws up his wall. Looks like they're pushing down. See what?
Gonna be on C push. H-Mix with a smoke.
Yeah, it doesn't really smoke right there where they're coming from, but.
Their guy jumps in. H-Mix gets one, then goes down.
Sadly, it's 2.
Calyptic gets one. Gonna be down this long hallway. Calyptic with a 3 right at the end for game.
They're in. I'll win.
Great way to end the match there with Calyptic.
Melatonin 23 and 10. Calyptic 19. So Melatonin
will be game 1 MVP.
Yep. Let's look at the thing. I mean, as we can see here, Calyptic did have less deaths, but, you know, Melatonin had a little bit more kills, but he also had a ton of assists. Look at that. Great performance by Calyptic,
from the freshman, you know, great performances. You know, Yuri, H-Mix, and Chum, you know, sitting in that middle of the pack with 11 and 10. Kind of all around, you know, great performance there from Keene. You know, it looks like the other team had a great guy at 16 and 14 and 3. You know, still they had their highs and their lows, but Keene, you know, able to win it out with 13 and 3.
Coming back and let's talk talking about that game. Beginning of the game, we really saw Melatonin step up. You know, start making a ton of plays,
looking like the old Melatonin.
Yeah, but then it kind of switched, and Calyptic started taking the end of it. Really started showing it. I mean, both players are good things. You know, 23 and 10 and 4. But you know, we also have Calyptic here, a little bit less of kills. Also had 2 less deaths, but also had 4 more assists. So clearly was getting in there. Just wasn't being able to get those kills, but helping everybody.
Almost looks like from the leaderboard as we kept checking at it, Calyptic got those assists kind of rather early in the match. So it kind of seems like Calyptic, you know, getting those kills in those later rounds, those last 4 rounds, he really knew that, you know, he had to aim a little higher, aim for those headshots, got them all down, and that was a great finish by Calyptic there. You know, Melatonin taking that strong lead, and Calyptic able to follow it.
I think we saw, you know, like the MVP Calyptic that we were seeing, you know, just doing a great job there.
And again, MVP Melatonin from those 2 games ago, you know, great freshmen coming in, you know, H-Bash and Gavin, you know, really stepping up.
All right, and we're just going to wait
Next
for this
map
game
is split. You know,
I got you, Gage. You're good. All right, we're back. We're going to be playing Split, another great map. This map is kind of the same thing. We're just going to have 2 sites here. This is another map where we know great areas to play. Our team's really strong on this map, too. This is a frequently used map. I think, you know, this is going to be really good. Looks like we're switching it up. Here. No, other teams switching it up have a lot of differences. We'll tell you when we switch screens here. We also have, looks like...
Froggy the Elite coming in for Calyptic.
Yeah,
it's going to be Holmes coming in for Melatonin.
Shotgun Freak 67 in. We have a ton of people here. Looks like a big difference here. But...
Almost seems like, you know, it's the last round of the season. You know, we're gonna let the other guys step in. You know, they've still been putting in the same amount of work as we have, and we're gonna see them step up. You know, new players gonna be running a 1 duelist on this. You know, new approach from Keene for a total. This actually might throw off the team more than we think. So we're gonna see how these new 3 players, you know, step up in this difference and kind of take it. All
right. And we have Mish playing Clove. You know, great. We also have, you know, Froggy playing Sage. Different players here, playing different things. We still have Chum on Yuri. We have let me look here. We also have Chamber being played, and Gecko, another great person. We have Viper on the other team, got changed. You know, see what this other team does. It looks like they kind of switch up their players too.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So again, our team, you know, gonna look very different, you know, and honestly, I'm actually okay with this because we've seen Melatonin, you know, kind of step down on this map split. So we're gonna see how, you know, this swap out looks. All right, gonna be watching Shotgun Freak here. Holding this ability, sends it through.
Chum. They're right there, so what is happening here?
What happens here? You know, Keene kind of stepping back, you know. We kind of know that they're there, but we don't need to be pushing.
Clove said that they're going to be looking. This might be a mistake here. Yup. They might. Wait, no, mind. Shotgun Freak staying. Oh, he left. Gecko is still over there.
Oh, he's come back up. He's come back up. It's going to be this Gecko holding this long angle on him.
Yup, and
misses
Gecko
his shot.
calls it. Yup. Be there too. I think they're going to try to plant. They're trying to plant here. Oh.
Shotgun Freak goes down.
Right.
Gonna see Holmes here, kind of pushing up his doorway. Guy does go down.
We're going Sage over here. We're gonna Sage. Yeah, they do run a Sage. Sage
Froggy goes down. We have 5-3 here. Chum kind of pushing this angle.
They get blinded.
Does get blinded.
Looks like he might use his blind though.
Blinds him. Oh,
and he gets
stunned and damage. Gonna be another blind there from the bird. To make the other team's
Chum backing up.
The other team is going to be pushing towards B, kind of pushing the spike over.
Love hears them on site.
H-Mish gets one. Gonna kind of rotate back. You know, he doesn't have to push. They can plant.
2.
Oh my gosh, H-Mish with another great kill.
Spike planted.
Spike is planted. Looking at a 3v3 here. H-Mish on this door. Gonna switch over Chum and Gecko over here. H-Mish again holding this door. The smoke goes away. There's another smoke. Oh, and they both go down. Gonna be Chum left. Chum gets 2. 1v1.
Chum's gonna have to hurry up though. You know, this is gonna be really tough for him if he doesn't.
Does TP. Catches him off guard. He gets home, and will he get it?
Come on.
It's gonna be close here, folks. I believe he got it though.
Based off, I can hear it, and I think we're gonna have just enough time. And like I said, boom, great win there. Wow.
Great job there by Chum.
Right now, Keene is up 1-0 because it's at best a round of 3, so we're up 1-0. But in this game, we're up 1-0 right now.
Yeah. So we did win game 1. This is game 2, and it's best out of 3 games. So if we win this, it will be the end of the game. Gonna see here. You know, great play there. Gonna take a look at this scoreboard here. Gonna see Chum at the top 3-0. Great round from him. H-Mish with 2. You know, the 3 new guys, you know, Shotgun Freak, Froggy, and Holmes stepping it up. You know, still at 0-1, but we're gonna see what happens here. Chum gonna send in his drone. Decoy. Gets him.
Get shot by Viper.
Chum gets flashed. Kind of still playing this angle with this one guy. Chum gets 1. I kind of see what happens. You know, Chum having this defensive sight. Let's see.
Sends his TP over there.
You know, the spike was more on B side, but it's going to be the other team, you know, pushing more over towards A. Again, they're kind of holding this angle. The other
Gecko.
team's playing a little slow this time, you know, kind of waiting on us. Froggy gets one. This one in the center. Again, Keene still spread out. Unsure where they're going to go. See Holmes here. Chum gets
great
two
by two.
with being stunned. Gonna be one more over here. Purple Violet looking like they're going to push back. No, they're going to push right up.
Oh,
Kind of
they're
sees
not-
us
they're
three.
pushing
Now
back.
he's
I think
going
they-
back.
I think she heard everybody coming around that
Yeah.
corner and just and yeah.
Gonna be
Purple
last
Violet
one.
takes
Chum
out
with a 4 bomb that round. Great
job.
round there.
Let's look at this. Wow, Chum 7-0. Hmish 2-1. Froggy gets one. That's the new person that we added in, getting a kill there, and Holmes 0 and Shotgun Freak with 0. But that's all right. They're still doing their part. We're still getting wins, so that's all that matters. As long as we're winning, that means everybody's doing some sort of their job.
Yeah, and again, Chum, having, our 2 kind of MVPs of these past couple games, Chum, or not, Melatonin, Calyptic kind of stepping down. Having these 3 players come in, this is a great look from Chum, stepping into that #1 role and kind of taking over this round, going 7-1. Gonna see the wall go up.
Shotgun Freak pushing.
Great ghost skin by here.
We also have over here, if we're looking at
Froggy Elite.
Yeah, they're also pushing Froggies. They left Spike.
Gonna see,
Left Spike.
gonna see 3 kind of pushing up on Froggy here. Froggy kind of pushing
Left the
back.
Spike behind. That's kind of.
Omen pushes
Gets
up.
one. Froggy, great job. Heals herself.
Great job there by Froggy. Gonna look over here at Chum, kind of pushing up behind this guy. Gonna get him. Holmes get him
Yep.
from the front.
Gecko, great job there.
Great job there from Gecko. Gonna see the other team, pushing up with Spike on B.
Pushing Clove.
We do have Hmish.
Hmish gets one.
Hmish gets 2. Great kills here from Hmish. Oh, then
Just
goes
gets taken
down.
Chum on site. Chum, he's gonna throw a
Chum
flash.
kind of knows that he's over there. He flashes him. Peeks and
Great
Chum gets
job.
great kill there from Chum.
Wow. Chum is playing phenomenally right now. Crazy.
Hmish and Chum looking great these couple rounds. All right, gonna see what happens here. The other team, maybe talking in their headsets, trying to think of a game plan during the buy phase.
Chum has his ult, so we'll see if he's gonna use it here.
Gonna see the other team, kind of a little bit more spread out. They're
Still.
gonna send maybe 1 up the A side, kind of pinch 2 in the middle, maybe shift over A, shift over B, kind of play more of that defensive that we've seen.
I don't really like this play by RIT right now. We saw last game that it just wasn't working doing this kind of weight thing. It's not working. I don't know why they're still doing it. Try to do. I think Keene just sees it coming. They just know what's coming now, and it's just like they know what's gonna happen. Switch
I feel like
over to
another
Chum.
thing RIT has to do, in these upcoming games is, change up their game plan. Seems like they've kind of, stayed the same, and I feel like Keene, adjusted it multiple times during the attack, trying to keep them on their toes.
Yeah, Keene did a great job, and I think that was like probably the best thing.
Omen
Can't
peeks
see.
and gets Chum.
They're gonna fall back.
They don't have to push here. They're gonna look like
All 3
Spike.
of the people that are still alive are all new, so we'll
Yes.
see what happens here. They're gonna have to clutch up. This is gonna be pretty tough from this team. Gecko knows where he is now. Gecko. Oh, just gets taken out.
On there, you just gotta aim a little higher. You gotta aim for those headshots, not the body. Let's see. Froggy gets him. Gonna be a 1v3 here for Froggy.
Gonna be tough from Froggy here, but
He
I
is
think
healing. It's gonna still 2 on site. Knows that they're over there. Gonna be Omen TPing
to
up
his
there.
gets one.
Great work there from Froggy. 2v1. Oh, Froggy going down to 2 health here.
Pistol versus.
Yeah. And the other guy.
I didn't even know Viper was still alive, if I'm being honest. I was not paying attention there. That scared me.
He definitely,
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he was over towards A
Yeah.
site, took him on to rotate over
Yeah.
and just
Had a
seems
great
like he
rotate.
really got there and
Yeah.
capitalized.
All right, let's look at this scoreboard here.
All right, gonna be Chum at 9-1. Hmish and Froggy. Froggy stepping up is one of those new guys that's still up there with 4. Holmes and Shotgun Freak, sitting at the bottom with 1-0. Great. Still seeing great gameplay from Keene here. Still up 3-1. I know they lost that round, but it's gonna be a good one. Gonna kind of seem like Keene's gonna save their credits on this one, maybe for the next round. A little cheaper here on the buy stage.
Yeah, they just take a loss, so you know, smart play by them. Viper throws up her wall.
Ooh,
Takes out
gets
two.
two. Great kill there
Wow.
from Viper. Chum does get them in the end.
Chum
Gonna kind of
TPs.
see what happens. You know, he does TP
Switch
back.
over to Sage here, where they're pushing Sage right now. Also,
Gonna be a
Clove is running into somebody.
3v4.
So it's,
Hmish coming around this corner, knowing that he's there. Gonna throw Doggy coming.
throws their flash. I think it was like kind of a bait flash.
He
there.
doesn't really have to push here. Gonna see what Keene does. You know, they could stay back. Gonna see there are 3 players with Spike pushing towards A. We do have Chum, it looks like, coming over. Gonna maybe run into 1 or 2 of them. Gets 1.
Oh,
This is his shots on the second. Gonna be
okay,
their
throws
Omen.
senses decoy. Kind of a weird decoy play
Yeah.
there, but you know I understand it.
Great play from their Omen, you know, just blindly shooting their blind and getting them.
But Yuri did, you know, play good here. You know, got a kill. Now it's a 3v3, pushing back a little. Great job here.
Yeah, gonna be our R2, you know, coming up from his bottom
From
side.
the back.
Hmish.
I'm not. I hope they understand. Someone right there.
Sees him.
Fine. Great
Hmish
job by
gets him.
Hmish now has a Phantom. This is a great job.
Let's see what happens
Pushing
here.
on the site. Looks like Chum.
Do have Chum up here in this window.
Pushing on a site with Sage.
Gonna be 2 in the back site. Hmish looking the wrong way.
Chum goes on a site, gets
Chum
it.
gets
Froggy gets
3.
the other.
Great
Froggy
play there by
defusing.
Froggy and Chum.
I'm trying to listen to it. I think, yeah, we have plenty of time, I think,
Yep.
from the sound of it. Yep.
Good work there from
Yeah, we
Keene.
got it.
You know, Chum having that great play actually right where he is right here. You know, being able to get in, get out, get 1, tied up 3-3. Looks still Chum at 12-1 sitting at the top. And their player, that Viper, sitting at 7-4 on their side. You know, great work from their Viper. Let's see what happens here. You know, other team seeming a little hesitant off the buy stage. Gonna be pushing more over towards A. Kind of see what happens here. Chum gonna be kind of in this like center back area. Gonna send his decoy kind of backwards.
Looks like Chum's using their ult. Yep.
Chum using his ult. Gonna get in here, see where the opponents are. He knows all 5 are right here.
Great job.
He might just take this one
I
here.
wonder what he's gonna do here. Oh, yeah,
Alright, so he
TPs
does go
Good
back.
play.
Great play there. You know, if he stepped in there, it's, you know, he's gonna go down.
Yeah.
A good angle here from Holmes. You know, this Gecko kind of holding this long angle.
But they're rotating.
It seems like the other team's gonna kind of take this long rotate, heading towards B site. You know, try and catch him off guard. You know, keep 1 over towards A, try and just still shoot. Froggy goes down. You know, that Viper, great round from him. Them. Gonna be Chum on a TPing back over. Hmish already on site, knows that they're here.
Blinded.
Hmish goes down, but he does use his ult. Or no, somebody does use his ult and get him back up.
That was Clove. Clove uses their ult. Gets taken out again though.
Maybe Chum here, you know, kind of pushing this hallway.
Gecko is
They
behind
do have
too.
all 5s. They will have
Wow.
everything
Yeah,
covered.
and they have 4 people with their ult here. So this is really gonna be really hard. They have 4 people that can use an ult and be able to, you know, just have a better play.
It'll be a tough round.
Fine.
Here. Chum
Takes
jumps
one.
in.
Almost had.
Player standing.
Gonna be a 1v4 here for Chum.
He's running out of time. He's gonna have to be able to make a play
Yep.
here.
And the smoke isn't gonna help.
I think
That's
he's just gonna pull back. You don't really have a shot here. This is
Yeah.
really tough. Yeah, ran out of time too. So
that's a tough look.
yeah.
You know, gonna be down to 4-2. You know, I feel like almost like we called that one. Gonna be Keene or gonna be RIT. You know, kind of switching up the gameplay. You know, heavy push A. Kind of notice that they won't have it. Rotate B. It's a new approach. We're gonna kind of see what happens here. You know, I feel like that's definitely a stronger round from RIT. You know, having that switch from A to B. Gonna kind of see what they do here. Definitely a good round. Let's see if Keene can capitalize though. All right.
All right. Let's see where they're kind of pushing here.
Seems like
They're
the other
kind of
team
in
with
the
a little
middle
bit more
here.
spread out. Gonna be pushing more towards center. You know, getting that center area, be able to choose either B or A.
Sage also has her ult, so she's able to 5 people if they die.
Looking like a great look from the other team. You know, sending 1 either side, sending 3 in the middle. Froggy kind of shooting blind, hoping to get one. Shotgun Freak gets their Viper on A. They do have a guy that pushes up, waits for the reload. Great play there from their pineapple.
Gecko.
That pineapple.
Watching that Haven.
H-Mish gets one.
Oh, Gecko gets taken out.
So we do have Chum gets two.
Down B.
Gonna be looking for guns on this one.
Yeah, have a gun.
Great play by
my
Chum.
gosh.
3 kills on that round.
That was a weird play by Pineapple on the other team. Had their knife out, coming up a peak where they knew they were up there. But look at the other team here. RIT, all players having their ult. So Sage has their ult, Gecko has their ult on our team. But that's a lot of ult, a lot of smart plays they could use. Let's see if they use it here to try to sneak out another win.
You would think they would use them now. Close game.
Yeah.
Use them. Get ahead. Tie. Kind of get this closer match. Gonna kind of see what they do here. Seems like they're gonna go with kind of a heavier push on A. We do have Chum and Shotgun Freak holding it.
Viper.
Hold this angle. Chum throws his
Backing up, looks like.
decoy up. Gonna be all 5 over here still. Seems like Keene's gonna play a little bit more defensive. Have them think they can push, and then try and catch them off guard. Gonna be Shotgun Freak here. Kind of holding this back angle. Goes down by their Viper. Chum holding this back angle. TP's over.
Yeah.
Great play there by Chum.
I think he's Chum is gonna wait for the team to show up and be able to help. Without his team, he really is powerless. Gets a kill.
Chum
Great
gets
job.
one.
Let's see what happens.
Froggy going up. Gonna kind of close his angles, and
Oh,
he
just
goes down.
wasn't able to get
Viper. Second there round. Second kill this
H-Mish
round.
goes down too. Gecko.
Third. They do. Holmes did
Gecko
get the
gets a kill,
Viper.
though. Using one of his utils. Was able to see where they are now. Great job.
See, Chum pushes up. Chum gets one. Gonna see him play with this Omen here. Chum goes
and
down.
Gecko gets taken down. Wow.
Attackers win. I think that was a great play, honestly, by the other team. Kind of pushing A, going back, push B, and then to just a straight push on A. Great understanding, great overall attack from RIT there. I'm gonna kind of see what happens here. The other team, a little bit more spread out this round. Still have the spike going towards A. Kind of one toward, maybe 2 towards the center.
Oh, no one's watching A. Maybe they're just predicting that they're not gonna head A.
Yeah, definitely a different approach from Keene here, sending all 5 center. Let's see what happens.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they predicted that they were gonna go mid, and
Yeah, other team is pushing the spike back towards center. They're gonna run right into each other here.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
What is Keene is?
This is just crazy.
Keene with a new
God.
approach. Viper gets 2.
Viper going crazy.
Blind.
Gets one. Shotgun Freak gets one of them.
Let's see Shotgun Freak on this angle. 2 push. Great push from the other team. Gonna be a 4v1 here. Chum here with the Sheriff.
Yeah, this could be a tough win. Oh, all those guys could have, a Vandal or a Phantom. Now he only Sheriff. Really tough, and he has no util. This could be extremely tough.
Yeah, almost looks like it was a save round for Keene here. We kind of push back. Ooh, and 2 catch him off guard. Definitely a tough round there from Keene. Gonna see what happens here. Honestly, this is definitely one of the closer rounds. I know we have the 3 guys stepping in. I want to see what happens here. Chum at the top with 18 and 3. And then H-Mish and Froggy sitting in that middle stage with that 5 and 6. Shotgun Freak and Holmes sitting at the bottom with 2 and 7. And a great round here from Keene. That Viper sitting at 14 kills on that other side. Their Viper really stepping up this game too. And we're gonna see what happens here.
Great job. Looks like they're gonna be doing that split thing again.
Chum using his ult. Only seeing 2 are over here. He
See what he does with it.
might send it. Might not. He does. Chum's already in their spot. Chum flashes and Chum goes down. Great kill there from Pineapple on the other team. Let's see what happens here. Wall goes up.
Wow, great kill.
Great blind shot
By
there from
shotgun
H.
and H-Mish. Pineapple stole shotgun. Killed shotgun.
Gonna see a 3v3 here. Other team pushing B site. Our team kind of over towards A. Gonna be a free site for B here. And all of our team, you know, still betting on this A site.
Look at him. Wow, yeah, just a wide open site.
Gonna be a plant
We're
here.
still over there.
Our team kind of still holding these angles. Not. Seems like our team is gonna have a three-way push coming all the way around from this back site. We do bring one back. Great use of that utility, that ult right there from Froggy. Now we have a four-man push. Gonna be a 4v3. We do not have the time on our hands, so we will have to do this rather quickly. Good thing we have four guys, you know, next to each other. We are definitely stronger in numbers as we have seen.
Oh, wow.
Great 3-kill there from their
team.
Omen.
Going crazy. Gecko, yeah, just doesn't have time. And they tie it up 5-5. Wow.
Great kill there from their Omen. That was a great way. You know, we had the smoke. We were defusing. Stepped in there, got all three. You know, it's a great Omen job from there.
Great job there.
And we do call a timeout.
Calling a timeout.
That is a smart play from Keene. Seeing as we was 5-2. Gonna kind of take a reset here. Anthony, what do you think they're talking about in this scenario, in this timeout?
I think, you know, everybody's not playing. I think they, you know, saw game one really easy. You know, it was easy. Now game two, you know, you're having a little bit of a struggle, and I think people are taking peeks they don't need to. You know, H-Mish, you know, or I mean, Yuri didn't have to swing that. He could have played back, waited. You know, I feel like they're pushing a little too far up. They need to be able to sit back, wait for them to pick a site, and then just wait. They have to come to you. Just wait back, you know, figure it out. But
and again,
we'll see.
I second that. You know, I feel like we're playing a little bit more aggressive. You know, we had a great first game one. You know, we have these guys, you know, these new three kind of stepping up, stepping in. And, you know, I feel like we're just playing too aggressive on these corners, on these attacks. You know, we're just playing too much. You know, we need to play. We are defenders. We need to play that defensive side of that ball. You know, stay back.
All right. At the switch, you know, we might have a special guest joining us, so, you know, stay tuned for that.
All right. Little coach over there.
Yep.
All right, gonna be seeing other team going with a little bit of a wide approach.
Gecko there. Looks like they're going to be pushing toward with
B site. Gonna be H-Mish up here.
Puts up a blind there.
Hey, Froggy holding Sentinel H-Mish over here. Let's see what Keene does. You know, this is a tough kind of point. You know, the other team kind of more spread out. We're kind of holding these angles. Kind of playing this more defensive approach. You know, a great way from Keene, you know, taking that timeout and switching up their game plan, honestly. You see, our entire team is kind of still right now. Having Chum, you know, kind of pushing up on this just to get a better angle. I think both teams playing a little bit slower this match. Ooh, H-Mish and Froggy go down. Ooh, Chum goes down. Great work of the other team, you know, pushing up on that. Gonna be Beans planting from the other team. Gonna be a 2v5 here. Gonna seem like our Gecko and Shotgun Freak are gonna meet up. Is one over on this, and their Viper gets 3 kills that round. Great round from the other team.
Viper.
Gonna be losing this late. I don't think we have been losing it this late. You know, this is tough position for Keene. Alright, gonna see what happens here. You know, definitely a new scenario. This is the last round before the swap, so at the switch, we will have a surprise guest joining us.
See if we can, you know, tie it up at the switch here. You know, that'd be a great job. You know, this would be big if we can get a win here. Go 6-6.
Alright, gonna see. Holding this long angle from Gecko here. Definitely Keene playing more defensive on this one. Their team having a definitely heavy push on A.
Yep. That's what I like to see. You know, I think they've now understood. You know, just a hard push is what they need to do.
Alright, All right, gonna switch over to Shotgun Freak. You know, up in this top angle, kind of clearing his corners.
Spike planted.
Chum kind of pushing up from the back.
Oh,
Shotgun
wow,
Freak gets
Yeah.
caught off guard. Froggy
Not a good-
gets one though. Froggy goes down. This Pineapple having a great round here. The Viper gets another.
Wow. Not good.
Great kill there from H-Mish.
Wow.
Great two
H-Mish.
kills there from H-Mish.
Player standing.
Gecko goes down.
Oh.
H-Mish not having the will to go all the way. All right, and that will be the switch. Buy phase. All right, gonna see what happens here. It looks like the other team's gonna be pushing more towards a B site. All right, and then we're just gonna kind of looking at our side. You know, we're looking at more of a 4-4-1. You know, kind of pushing all towards B site. Little interference here. Give us 1 second. All right. We're gonna start this round, and during this intermission, we will introduce our surprise guest, Calyptic here.
Here we go.
Welcome to the stream.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a lot of fun.
You know, great game one. You know, coming in second place. We'll kind of see how your team is doing.
Yeah,
you know, down
for sure.
down 2 right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a big adjustment for the team seeing the 3 subs in, but it's a lot of fun getting them in. I mean, you know, last game of the season, regular season at least, we got playoffs to come, obviously, so it'll be a lot of fun seeing what they can do with this. And I think just having them get into the game is what they need the most. Obviously, it's a little bit of an adjustment; they're not used to it, but you see us pushing up mid. So I'll give the commentating part of it, you know.
Gonna see Shotgun Freak get 2 here. Gonna see us kind of pushing over towards A. Get another H-Mish with a great kill there.
Here we go.
Gonna switch over to the Ghost here. Gonna be a 2v2.
Right here on site, they should just be planting and play their angles. I mean, it's a 2v2. They should be doing a 2vx is what we like to call it. So is this 2vx?
Ooh.
Right there, we got to be holding on our guns and being
Hey,
ready.
good trade. Still 1v1.
It's a great
Gonna be
trade.
Gecko versus Beans
Oh.
here, and Gecko
Here we
wins.
go, Issa.
Great round
Issa
there.
showing it up.
Great round there from Keene.
Now side up 6-7. Here we
Yeah.
go.
And why? Quick question, Calyptic. Why do you think they went down 2-0? What do you see in their weaknesses there? I know I saw you over there watching.
Yeah. So I think a lot of the things are they're not entirely used to being with a different team comp. Okay, so they're not really entirely used to this different team comp, you know. I mean, we got Issa, Sheldon, and Nathan in. This is their first game of the season, so I think it's an adjustment for Thomas and Haley to be with these new people. I mean, like, you go on a basketball court and you got 3 new players in your starting lineup. There's going to be a little bit of a difference with your chemistry, you know.
Yeah, definitely a new switch. I feel like.
Yeah, no, it's definitely weird. But yeah, with that switch, I think it's just a lot of adjusting and them getting used to these circumstances. And I think one of the main things why they went down these angles is their angles. Like, there's been a lot of rounds where they've not been holding the best angles. Reloading, I've talked with. I mean, I play with the casters. You know, I've talked with the casters. You never want to reload if you have like 15 bullets stuffed in your gun. That's more than enough to kill somebody.
Gonna be spike planted 5v1
There we
here.
go.
Great flawless round from Keene there,
Phenomenal
bringing it
round
back
by
to a
them.
7-7 game.
And they're showing when they play those angles together and they hold their angles and they shoot them.
Yeah.
That's how you win. All you got to do is just play it smart and wait for them to come to you. Swing or be swung.
Yeah, looking like a good luck charm here for Keene. You know, going down 2. You know, we get the special guest coming in. Now it's tied 7-7.
Of course. Yeah, I think what they need to do is just really wait for the other team. RIT has been a really aggressive team so far. Since in the first game they were very, very aggressive on their attacking side and their defense side. Actually,
we saw that a lot from them.
So with that, we just have to know that since they were so aggressive, we wait for them and we hold these tight angles, and we just have to be ready for it. You know, with not being ready, that's I think what kind of hindered us a lot of the times, and we have to use our util. A lot of the times while spectating, I saw there's a few rounds where Thomas had both of his flashes at the end of the rounds, or Chum. You guys used to call him Chums. Chum's got his flashes at the end of the round, and it's a hard thing for us to do, because that's like how we get our entry, and that's how we use that util to our advantage.
So those numbers are going to be who you can switch to.
Alright.
Going to see Froggy here on this tough angle.
Switch to they're rotating in. So we got Froggy going right in.
Going to be
Sheldon
Froggy
gets
goes
taken
down.
out.
Chum. Oh, 3 kill there from Beans there. great triple from them where you have Shotgun Freak and Holmes kind of pushing up with their back.
And they're going to back off because they got hit by that Viper Molly. And they got a Raze flanking, and I don't know that they have any idea. They should be shift walking up because the Raze knows.
Ooh.
He's got to clear his corners here.
Yep. Did not clear his corners. They do have a guy behind them.
He's got to clear his corners.
Yep. And defenders
that's a
win.
big thing. Honestly, I think they should see if they can call one more timeout for the second half and talk about clearing our corners.
Yeah, you know, that is that's an easy way. If you just clear a corner, you get that kill 10 times out of 10.
Exactly. Clearing these corners, it's a simple thing. It's the fine things that us start when we're the starters. We have to work on every single day because I mean, obviously you're conditioned. You just want to run it down. You want to go up and you want to kill him. You want to get through that round and you want to get it done with. So with them not clearing those corners, what hinders us a lot, and that can change winning and losing.
Yeah, we saw that at the start of this game. You know, when we were winning, you know, we saw these 3 new players, you know, stepping in and kind of taking control, almost kind of, you know, wanting to be that top frag, kind of wanting to be that leader of these matches. Gonna see Pineapple pushing over.
Pineapple's backing off. We got Shotgun Freak going in.
Gonna see a heavy push from Keene here as we're already in sight.
They have an open sight. And they got one heaven. We got Gecko. We have used to having her Gecko plant it. Let's see what they're doing.
Let's see what happens here. You know, great push from Keene here, kind of holding all angles. Gonna play more defensive.
Oh,
Pineapple goes down. That. Froggy gets him.
Good shot. And you see 2 of them on our ramps right now. With 2 of them ramps, Sheldon should just be holding that still. Froggy should just be holding that angle. Nice one.
Great kill there from Froggy.
3.
Froggy
There we go,
this
Sheldon.
round. Chum gets his follow-up. Gonna be 1v5 here. Chum kind of in the firefight. H-Mesh finishes it off.
Great play. They showed him who's boss. They smoked off the site. They got on. They planted and they held their angles. That's what you need every single round.
Yeah,
you see Froggy
great round there.
3 kills there. All headshots. That's a beautiful play.
Froggy stepping up. Gonna look at the leaderboard here. Gonna be a Chum at the top with 21 and 8. H-Mesh with 12 and 13. Froggy and Shotgun Free kind of sitting at that middle of the pack with 9 and 8. And Holmes sitting at that bottom with 4. You know, Gecko being great with that spike, you know, sending it in, you know, getting it planted when needed. Still a valuable member to this team right now.
No, absolutely. With that play, we're using Nisa for her flashes and everything right now. She's doing a great job at it. She's doing a phenomenal job.
All right. Gonna kind of see what Keene does here. Keene kind of having a heavy push on center, kind of having everybody kind of spread out. Gonna see Calyptic kind of step out right now. Anthony's gonna come back in.
All right, I'm back.
Sorry for the interference. We're gonna have kind of Keene pushing center. All right. Gonna see Shotgun Freak and the whole team kind of pushing up the center hallway at the top with Haven. All right. Gonna see Purple Violet with 3 kills on us. Great work from their Purple Violet here. Gonna kind of see, sends a flash. H-Mesh gets him. A great double counter from Keene right there. Gonna see them kind of pushing with like a flank here.
Froggy and
Spike planted. Sad round from there with Keene. You're gonna be tied 8-8. Believe this might be the closest round we've had, Anthony.
I think this is the closest round that Keene's ever had right here. We've never had it tied up, really.
Great work here from Keene. Gonna be 9-8. You know, their Viper still sitting at the top, 19 and 10. Yeah. Great round, you know, definitely their shining player, you know, stepping up and having Pineapple Beans and other guys standing in that middle ground, you know, kind of staying in that middle ground. Another timeout from the other team. Gonna kind of take a pause here. Gonna be a little interference. We're just gonna take a minute here. Kind of stepping up from Keene and Anthony. What have you've still been watching? What have you been seeing these past couple rounds that we had Calyptic step in?
You know, I definitely saw that, you know, exactly what you guys were saying. Just we weren't doing the fundamentals and stuff, and that's something big that we need to start, you know, implementing. We need to be able to, you know, turn those corners, you know, check every corner. You know, some people sit at weird corners because they know that it's gonna be something that someone's not gonna check.
It's unseen.
Yeah. So, you know, that's like a big thing. You know, we just need to start doing a little bit of that, and I think we need to see, you know, to start playing is maybe a little bit better, and be able to hold that, be able to play a little bit better. But yeah, that's it. You know, I think, you know, I mean, even if we lose this game, we would go another one. I'm guessing we're probably going to put those starters back in. We'll put
starters back in, you know, MVP Melatonin is back up, you know, Calyptic, you know, having great first game. Let me sub them back in. All right, the timeout's over. I'm going to kind of see what Keene does here. Going to be looking like we're going to send Spike up towards A. Going to be down 1, you know. Keene, you know, not used to seeing this, but, you know, we do have the three non-starters in, but they've been doing a really good job here. We're going to see if they can continue to keep that up. Gonna kind of see a little patience here from Keene, you know, kind of playing our angles. You know, they do have a guy that pushed. Do miss and do not get him. They're gonna nade us. Chum kind of pushing back. Let's see.
Great.
We do have our other guys, you know, that were at B. You know, they are pushing over towards A. Kind of a stronger in numbers kind of push. Let's see, you know, Chum kind of pushing up. Bad move there from Pineapple, you know, going for that ultimate orb, you know, that's not
Froggy takes out their Omen. Great play here.
Gonna be a 5v3.
Shotgun goes in, gets a kill. Nice job.
Gonna be an open sight now. You know, great kill there from Shotgun Freak, able to capitalize on that guy sitting up at Haven. Spike is planted, you know, tough. It's gonna be a tough push from the other team. 5v1. You know, and we do have two guys pushing from either side. They do get our Gecko, and H-Mesh finishes him off.
Job.
Great round there from Keene. You know, very dominant push. Definitely able to, you know, step up in that moment of need. And tie it up 9-9. Definitely one of the greater games we have seen here. You know, with our subs in, you know, they did switch up a couple things. They switched up a couple agents. Gonna kind of see what happens here when they step up. All right. Gonna kind of see what happens here. You know, Keene kind of pushing up heavy towards A. Other team having a little bit more spread out approach. You know, they got 2 on A, 2 center, 1 B. Gonna see my Keene gonna go very strong up this.
Oh,
Chum
goes on to site.
Chum TP's right in. Gonna be playing this more defensive. Sends his decoy in. Again, free sight here for Keene. Gecko gets caught off guard, but is able to finish him off. Froggy goes down. They do have two guys sitting in Haven. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, right there. Great play by Purple Violet, getting 2 of us. Gonna be a 2v2 here. Chum kind of playing with this Omen here. Gets him through the wall. Great shot there from Chum, and attackers win. H-Mesh with 3 that round. Great round here by Keene. You know, able to capitalize. Now going up 10-9. These rounds are going to be crucial. These next couple of rounds, you know, this is a game to 13, so we will see it. All right. I'm going to be looking at Chum here. Another timeout here. You know, this is one of the closer games we have seen. Yeah. I'm not surprised that there is this many timeouts. Yeah. You know, again, Anthony, I said this the first time out. I'm going to ask you again, you know, what do you think this team is talking about right now? What do you think is going through their heads?
I think they see after the last timeout that Keene's really stepped up their game. You know, they're playing as a team, and they're really just pushing on a site extremely fast, which I think is just messing with them. Now they have no ability to be able to defend it because we're all over the place, all over site, and it's a lot harder for a team to get back onto that site, you know. And I think that they're gonna have to, you know, switch up their game plan. That, you know, like Keene is just being extremely dominant right now. They're hitting all their shots, so clearly, you know, RIT needs something. You know, they've kept it a pretty close game, so they're only down by 1, so it's not like a huge deal that they lost that last one. But it definitely seems like these last couple rounds that I've seen that Keene is really just taking it charge and being like, hey, we're winning this game. We're ending it right here. Yeah,
it almost seems like Keene, you know, we switched up our game plan, you know, going from that more spread out attack, you know, we lost a couple. Having this very dominant push, kind of trying to catch the other team off guard. Again, sticking with A, it seems to be our sweet spot. Gonna see what kind of happens here. Gonna see if we play that more patient approach or just send them all in.
Sends his TP in. Let's see what Euro does here.
All right, gonna be pushing up towards Haven here. Yeah. I think it might be a 5v3 up in Haven.
Yeah.
Kind of Keene going right past the site, trying to catch him off guard.
Oh, wow.
Wow, yeah, a lot happening there. Gonna be a 2v3 here.
Maybe not the best thing in the world, but it's still a 2v3. So
still winnable game. H-Mesh gets him.
A kill.
Gonna be one guy in the back of site. We are gonna send in. Gecko is gonna send in the Gecko to start planting.
The pistol versus the Vandal. So see, H-Mesh gets another kill.
Great kill there.
Attackers, great job.
Great kill there from Holmes there. Gonna be a great capitalize off that timeout. Gonna look at the leaderboard here. Gonna see Chum at the top and H-Mesh right behind him. Chum with 23, H-Mesh with 21. Shotgun Freak and Froggy still in that middle range with 11 and 10. You're gonna be Holmes still playing great, but having only 6 kills. Using his Gecko and planting a lot.
I think, I don't know, Shotgun and Froggy have really stepped up since those earlier rounds, and in these later rounds they've been playing phenomenally, hitting a lot of shots, doing everything right and really helping out the team. And I think that's really freed up, our 2 starters that are playing right now, Chum and Ashmish, really freed them up to be able to keep playing and stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, gonna be a little switch up going over to B site.
Yeah.
Try and catch the team off guard. We are actually gonna have a free walk right in.
Yeah,
Other
so
team kind of wasn't expecting it and kind of stayed more center.
Gecko. There.
They are gonna have a good flank on us. Don't know if Keene sees that.
Walls.
Keene doesn't see that. They get 1, but then go down. H-Mish with 2 so far. 3v3. Gonna be a lot of ability use here. Gonna be a 1v3. Viper with their 2nd kill this round. Great use there with the decoy, and Chum goes down.
Oh, sad round that we didn't get to take that one there. That would have been a really big win. But we are still up by 1, so as long as we maybe hopefully maintain this lead, I think we're still playing really good. I think we need to go back to A site. Clearly A site was working. Probably should have stayed there, but it's all right. Try something new is okay. See what they do here.
Try and get them off guard. It didn't work in our favor, but we'll see how this kind of goes. We're still up 1, and another timeout.
Wow.
Gonna be what? Is this the 4th one this round?
I don't. Yeah, I think so.
I believe this is the most timeouts we've seen, folks. And honestly, I'm not complaining at all because it is 11-10. This is a big game for Keene. This is for the 1 seed if you think about it. Because if we win, we take it all.
But I think the big thing right here is that Keene hasn't taken the timeout. It's all been RIT. So clearly something. But RIT, taking but right now that RIT is taking these timeouts, so clearly they're worried about something. Something's wrong. Keene's like, you know what, we're playing decent enough right here, and I think what they're really going to talk about is how are they going to stop them from taking A so productively. Every time we've gone A, we've taken it so productively, been able to get all around, be able to get a bunch of kills up top of that haven spot, and just everywhere. It's been such a good performance, and Shotgun and Froggy, just playing great, being able to get those kills last round. I think
then
was a little bit
Gecko
of a
getting right in, planting that spike.
I think that's the biggest thing is we're getting that spike down so early that they have to get over there. That's such
we saw this a couple games ago. When we had Melatonin stepping up 2-3 games back, we would really have a dominant push, kind of reverse the roles and kind of play that defensive side and have them turn to the attacking.
Oh yeah.
Gonna kind of see what happens here. Kind of Keene pushing strongly on site. Gonna try and catch him off guard. Pineapple gets 1 shotgun close angle. Froggy gets him.
Froggy revives them though.
Great work there from Froggy.
Wow.
Great kill from Purple Violet. Getting a 3P right there. Sitting in back sight. Chum gets him. 1v3. And Chum missing his shots. That, Chum's going to be thinking about that one later. That is a crucial shot that you have to make there.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a tough look there from Chum. Great work from the other team. They definitely seem like that timeout is helping them. Our dominant attacks, getting in.
Yeah, these
seems like they're capitalizing on it. I think Keene has to switch something up here.
Yeah, I'm definitely a little bit worried here. Those timeouts really seemed really productive for them. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing. And some players don't even have enough money to to buy a Vandal or Phantom right here, which is really big, really tough here because we have.
I think we have to get a win here. Keene.
Yeah. We have to get a win here. This is really tough because if they take one more, then we cannot let them win.
It will be match point.
But if we could take this one right here, that means they can't let us. So we have a free up right there. But let's see.
We've never seen a game 3. This whole season we have always kept it at 2 games. Keene definitely staying dominant. We're gonna see how it goes.
Chum making a lot of noise. I think they're trying to.
They do have the spike on A.
I'm really confused.
Kind of pushing over towards B. Again, Keene switching up their game plan. We just said that they're gonna have to switch something up.
Looks like
our people on B, playing more defensive, playing slower. Yeah, and we are gonna rotate over to B. Try and catch them off guard.
Going from behind, so
they are gonna kind of be more spread out. We're gonna have to see how Keene does with this.
Oh, great play there,
and they do get him.
Froggy gets taken out.
Great work there from the other team. Able to wall us off and pick off that guy.
Oh my God! Great
triple for Pineapple. This is gonna be a tough win for Keene. Looking at a 2v5. Gonna be Gecko and Shotgun Freak. Again,
look like they're
2 of our middle pack players. They did good. They took out our top 2. Gonna see what happens here.
Yeah.
Pineapple kind of holding this close angle. This is
RIT
gonna be a
playing this
tough
great.
one.
Just, hey, we have 5 guys. We're just going to sit here and just wait for you because you guys have to make the play. We don't have to do anything. And
again, tough shot there. You know, going back to what we were talking about earlier, you know, headshots are going to win you those gunfights. You know, in that open area, you know, one-on-one, you need to aim at the head.
Yeah.
You can't be aiming that low. Crucial loss there. Going to be looking at 11
see
and 12.
what happens here. You know, we have see if this will be the first time Keene gets pushed into a game 3. But we do have a chance. You know, it's game point. We do have to get 2 more wins. Hopefully something happens. Hopefully we can clutch up, take this, and we just, you know.
All right, seems like we're going right back to how we were doing it. Tough push towards A. Other team pushing, having more of a center to A approach. It'll look like the other team's kind of expecting it here. Gonna see what happens here. Keene with a heavy push. No, gonna see all angles covered. All pushing in. But they do get 3 of us. We get 1.
Great, yeah.
Gonna be a 1v3 here.
Can Euro clutch up here? Let's see.
Gonna see, you know, Chump being our top of the leaderboard here. Great blind, but doesn't see the other guy.
And wow.
We lose. That is the first game Keene has lost. You know, this is the second seed. You know, we knew that this wasn't going to be a far away game.
Yeah.
You know, we did put in our 3 backups. You know, great for them. You know, they've been putting in that work. Definitely, you know, you can see that they've been trying to step up and try and get into this game.
Yeah.
Gonna be Chum and HME sitting at the top of the leaderboard. Yeah, we're gonna hop into the 3rd game. First time we've had to say that, Anthony. 3rd game.
Wow.
This is tough. So what do you think Keene has to do?
All right, we have a little 5-minute break here. I think Keene, you know, we're just gonna put back in our starters. Just like you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, you know when we put back in, you know, Calyptic and Melatonin, you know.
But you never know. There could be a different side of the story. You know, they just came off a win. Maybe they, you know, use that fuel to, you know, just play really good. But we'll see.
And again, looking at the other team, you know, their Viper really stepped up that round, coming off of 24, 3, and 8. You know, they kind of had all of their players doing really good. You know, Pineapple, Purple, and Beans sitting at that middle of the pack with that 19, 19, and 16. Great work by their middle players. You know, didn't really have a lackluster round. Then again, they had their Omen, very strong rounds. But you know, he's had his off games. He had his good games. He had his off games. We're gonna see what happens here. You know, he's sat at 13, but we're gonna get a little 5-minute intermission.
All right, round 3 will be coming up now. After this.
All right, and welcome back. You know, hopping into game 3, the first time Keene's seen this, gonna be the same lineup. You know, having Froggy, Issa, and Shotgun Freak stepping in. You know, Chum and HME still here. Gonna be a little change up of the people though. Gonna be a little change up of the agents. You know, gonna see Froggy.
We haven't seen this map either. This is a different map. So we'll definitely see how we play it, but we have to win this game. This is a must-win game.
Yeah.
We have to take this. So hopefully, you know, our players, you know, play a little bit better than last time and really clutch up here.
Yeah, and again, so this map being Abyss, you know, they have an A and a B site, no middle. So the B site is going to be more of a like open fields. You know, you got a little hallway and then to a big opening with a haven up top. You know, long angles going all the way. Going to be A site, kind of the same thing. You know, we have a window, they have a window. Going to be a long site down the center. Going to kind of see what happens here. All right. I'm going to be, yeah, again, I've been liking what Anthony's been doing this time, liking what we're seeing. You know, we're going to see what we can do here.
So Froggy switched to Neon. That's definitely a big change. That's a, you know, they have a lot of powers that they could use really well here. So we'll see what happens.
You know, Froggy, definitely a strong, Froggy using this operator, or agent, sorry, you know, definitely a strong attacking side. You know, being able to like rotate from A to B really fast, you know, using that quick step. Let's see what happens here. Keene kind of holding more of an A side. Gonna be a new map for Keene here, but again, we've practiced so much that we know it's gonna be, you know, a common round. Gonna be seeing the other team kind of holding, kind of going towards A, you know, sending 1B, 1 center. Excuse me. Gonna kind of see what they do here, you know, see if any game plan switched. Again, we know that they can beat us, you know, with this lineup. Aggressive push here from Froggy, and Chum goes down. You know, again, we believe in these new 3 coming in. You know, they're definitely solid players. You know, they've been doing good. They've been doing the practice, putting in the work just like everybody else has. Gonna be stepping up here. We're gonna need them here in this game 3. See what happens here. Looking at a 5v4, you know, not unwinnable. Has up 4v2.
Yeah, that's not good.
Gecko goes down. HMH capitalizes though. Maybe the other team planting on B site. You know, R2 kind of in the center. Gonna kind of see what push we take here. Alright, gonna see HMH go down. 1v3 here. You know, Shotgun Freak and Pineapple with a 3 kill there. Gonna be tough. You know, Keene going down 1-0 at the start.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You never know. Definitely a tough first round. We're gonna look at the leaderboard, and you know, we have HMesh, the only one getting a kill that round. That's not good look.
Pineapple on the other team with a 3-0 though. That's a great round for them.
I think we just were a little too aggressive at the start. I think that was our biggest issue there, was just so aggressive at the start, and probably wasn't the best move.
We saw that attack on A, you know, push all the way up to almost their barrier, kind of holding that site. I feel like, you know, if Keene wants to do something here, you know, we got to play more defensive. You know, we got to play our game. Kind of let them jump into ours. I see the other team, you know, Spike on the ground. Spike just got picked up as soon as I said that. Gonna be more of a spread out kind of. I kind of see what happens here. You know, this is gonna be a tough game for Keene. See what happens. You know, we're gonna playing that game that we were just talking about, playing that a little bit more defensively, playing that slower, kind of playing, you know, playing our defense. You know, letting them push up. Gonna be looking like there's gonna be pushing more towards A site. You know, we're watching this Gecko kind of toying with them. Gonna kind of have them all pushing away from B site, pushing more towards center and A. Let's see Froggy here, you know, again, using that quick step as we just went over. You know, he can use that as much as he really wants. You know, it's a rechargeable ability. You know, it's easier for shifting out, shifting in. Gonna kind of see what happens here. They do get the plant off. Gonna kind of see Keene, you know, regrouping at that top. You know, it is still a 5v5. Do have, you know, a couple more injuries. HMH does go down. He was weak. Froggy goes down. Chum gets 1. The other team, you know, has more rifles. Chum goes down. Gonna be Gecko kind of fighting here. You know, we do have more pistols as we don't have as much cash as them. We're gonna see what happens here. You know, we does have to push in again. Pineapple with a tough shot there with the Guardian. You know, great shot there. Going down 2-0, you know, this is going to be a tough game for Keene. No, this is, again, the 2 seed. So, first game 3 for Keene. You know, gonna need, you know, our top 2, you know, H-Mish and Chum to kind of like step up, you know, not be kind of the so what leaders, but, you know, have that communication level. You know, these other 3 players stepping in. It's now their second game, but you know, they wouldn't be here if they didn't work for it. You know, they deserve to be here. They've been doing good. We're just gonna have to, you know, kind of play our game and see what happens here. Kind of seem like the other team's kind of spread out. You know, seeing where we are, and then they're gonna go grab Spike. Great, very aggressive. All right, good TP here from Chum. Kind of behind him. Doesn't know the guy is like right.